This little gadget's pretty cool. It's like having a portable drill press. It's similar to this one I've had and used for a while, but this one has a really cool feature that one doesn't. Welcome back to the shop, everybody. Today I have 3 new tools to show you, and as always, full disclosure, these tools were sent to me for free under the agreement that I would give them a fair and honest review. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to check these tools out, go over their features and functions, and see if they might be worth your time and your money. So if you like new tools, stick around. So the first tool we're going to look at today is this portable drilling guide from Enjoywood. So I received a few tools from Enjoywood, and so far everything has been really nice. In fact, I've liked the tools that they've sent me so much that I've actually spent my own money on other tools they make, and I use them here in the shop, and everything has been working just great. So because of that, I had high hopes when I received this, and it does have a feature I really like, but in another aspect, it really falls, well, short. So like everything I've received from Enjoywood, this is made really well. It's all stainless steel and anodized aluminum. The only plastic on here is this little bumper down here at the bottom where the spring rests on here, and that's just, I think, to protect this aluminum piece from getting scratched up by the spring. This piece up here has these brass inserts that ride on the stainless steel guides. It makes the operation very smooth. The depth stop here is an aluminum collar with a steel thumb screw. This piece down here is also anodized aluminum riding on stainless steel guides with some steel thumb screws for stops. And for me, it's this piece right here that's the star of the show. Let me show you what this does. So this piece right here is so you can use this drill guide with a track saw track. It's pretty simple. You just put your track down along the line where you want your holes to be. You set this on the track. Then you just adjust this to where you want your holes. Lock it down with your thumb screws. And now this will slide along your track and you can drill a nice straight line of holes. It's a really clever feature, and I'm going to be using this to redo the top of this bench because how I modified my dog holes is not working out, so I need to redo them. So I will definitely be using this tool to drill my dog holes in a nice straight line. One thing I forgot to mention was it comes with its own chuck key and a place to store it right here on the tool. It also comes with a couple wrenches and an Allen key, and these are to do any disassembly or maintenance or adjustments on the tool. Now, what I don't like about this one is how short it is. I have the Milescraft version of this tool. You've probably seen these. Now, I've used this tool quite a bit, and it works pretty well. The motion on it isn't nearly as smooth as the Enjoywood version, but I really like the capacity that Milescraft gives you in their version. If I'm using a bit such as this short Forstner bit, it's fine. It works in both of these. But if I have a situation where I need to use a longer bit, such as this auger bit, it just won't fit in the Enjoywood tool. This is just too short. It doesn't have the capacity to accept this bit, but it works just fine in the Milescraft drill guide. So if you've been shopping for a portable drill guide, you've probably looked at this one. It's quite popular, and I wanted to compare these two because they're very similar in price. I think this one's about $48 and this one's right around $55. Milescraft does make a version of this. I think they call it the Pro, that has like a guide system on it and that, but it's like 3 times the price. I think they're about $150. So these are more similar in price. So if you're looking in this price range, you're comparing these two, you just have to decide, do you like the capacity of the Milescraft more than you like this feature where this can slide in a track saw track. Basically, I would look at the drill bits I'd be using in either of these tools. If they're 5 inches long or less, they will work in the Enjoywood drill guide. If they're over 5 inches, they're going to be too long for this, and you have to go with something taller like the Milescraft. But like everything in this video, I will put links in the description below so you can check them out and decide for yourself. Alright guys, the next tool is also from Enjoywood. It is right here in this box, and it is a set of 4-way panel clamps. Alright guys, I want to open this up and show you that everything I get from these people from Enjoywood is always packaged really nicely. Everything's in foam, just like this. In foam, all the parts are in their own little compartment, so nothing bangs into each other during shipping and gets all scratched up and beat up. And here's the second set of clamps right below it. Again, packaged really nice. No problems with shipping ever with these parts. Obviously, with these clamps, as you can see, there's some assembly required. I'm going to go ahead and get that done off camera. I think it's a pretty simple process. And then when I come back, we'll see how these function. All right, guys, so these clamps, they don't come with any paperwork. They don't come with any instructions. I just looked them up on the Enjoywood website, and based on the pictures, I was able to put these together really easily. Just like everything else, they're made really well. They're all steel and anodized aluminum. These pieces here are on ball bearings, which is really nice. The threads for the screw are really nice and smooth. Everything operates great. No complaints about any of that. But the thing I don't like about these is actually using them, and that's obviously kind of a problem. First of all, you have to make these cauls, which isn't that big of a deal, but when you attach these pieces to the cauls you're going to use, it gives you about 4 inches of adjustment. For instance, these are 27 inches long, so these are going to allow me to clamp up a panel between 27 and 23 inches. So this is fine if you're gluing up a 24 or 25 inch wide panel, but what if you need to glue up a panel that's 20 inches wide? Well, you got to take one of these off, cut this down to 20 or 21 inches, reinstall it, and then do your glue up. And then if on the next project, if you have to glue up a panel that's say 30 inches wide, you got to go find 4 pieces of wood that'll work for those cauls, attach these pieces. You basically have to build custom cauls for every project.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
For someone who's building different projects with different size pieces all the time, I don't see this clamping system really working for me. I have a 13-inch wide planer, so I think I'll make up some of these where I can glue up a panel between 10 and 13 inches. I'll use it for panels of that size, but I'm not going to make new cauls every time I glue up a panel. I think if you're someone who does more production type work and you're gluing up the same size panels all the time, then a clamping system like this would work great for you. The next tool we're going to check out today is a little different because it has a power cord. And on the other end of that power cord is this electric hand plane from Woodstarter. This and a whole bunch of other budget-friendly tools can be found at woodstarter.com. You can pretty much outfit an entire wood shop on that website for some really good prices, but low prices don't mean anything if the tools aren't any good. So I'm going to put this through its paces, check out the different features, and see how it performs. For me, the first test of a tool like this is how does it feel in my hand? Generally, you can feel right away by picking something up. If it's light, flimsy, junky, you can tell right away just by grabbing it, and I don't get that from this tool. It has some nice weight to it at about 8 pounds. Everywhere you're going to be grabbing it with your hands has a nice rubber overmold that feels really nice and secure. It really is just a solid feeling tool that right away inspires confidence. So on the bottom here, the shoe has this little kickstand right here. In case this is still spinning when you set it down, the tool's not going to take off on you. It also has 3 different sizes of V-grooves here in the bottom for planing in chamfers. This is pretty cool. On this side here, it's designed for planing rabbet joints. I'm a DeWalt guy, so I looked up the DeWalt version of this tool to compare the two, and the Woodstarter one has a more powerful motor, it has more accessories, it has more cutting depth capacity, and all that is less than half the price. So all that gives me pretty high hopes for this. I'm going to chuck up some hard maple and walnut in my vise here and see how this performs. All right, this is 1-inch hard maple. See how it does. That was set at 0 and it did nothing. I'm going to go up. Let me check the book real quick. So every click is 1/128th of an inch. So I'm going to go up like 2 clicks and see what it does. I don't think that really took anything off. I'm going to go up 2 more clicks. Felt a little resistance. All right, this wasn't removing very much material, so I turned it up to 5/64 and see what we get now. That definitely removed some material. It's super smooth. It's a brand new blade, so it should be. So I'll do a few more passes. I was handling this maple no problem. I took a big chunk out of the end here. That was user error. I was just putting too much pressure on the front. So when the front left, it just dug down in. Well, the dust collection bag doesn't appear to be doing much at all. Most of the shavings are on the floor or the workbench. So it handled the maple and the walnut just fine. So I put in a 2.5-inch wide piece of rosewood. It's really tough stuff, and it went through it no problem. It only took about 5 minutes of using the tool till I got used to it, and I was able to avoid that nasty snipe I was getting at the end of the cut. I'm actually really surprised how well it handled this rosewood. This stuff is super hard, super dense. It planed it no problem and left a really nice smooth finish. And the bag started collecting the material a lot better. At the beginning, it was getting pinched right here, and that was causing a clog. But as long as that stays open, all the material gets thrown, well, not all of it, but a lot of the material gets thrown into the bag. In fact, this bag is pretty much full from a few passes on that wood. So with this Woodstarter electric hand plane, you get lots of power and a smooth finish for 80 bucks. It's a pretty good deal. If you're in the market for an electric hand plane, definitely check this one out. Alright guys, that's it for this one. If any of these tools piqued your interest, you can find them at the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.